routines, like them or hate them. Today, we're not gonna lie.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of NGL People, where we talk about things in life that matter. My name is Zeleny.
And I'm Natasha.
And today we're going to talk about discipline and habits.
I am very excited for this episode. And how this episode came about, right, was that one day Zel and I were just having a chat about whether discipline is still important. Especially when I think we see the younger Gen Z workers coming into the workforce now, right? Now there's this very big thing where people like flexible work arrangements and like they enjoy being able to clock in and out of work at their own timing as long as they get their work done. And it's a very different environment from the work environment we entered when we first started work. So we had inspiration for a discipline episode, and with that, right, we've got amazing people on this panel because we got the two extremes. We got somebody who we find very, very disciplined, and then we got a younger Gen Z person who is a work in progress. So,
very free-spirited.
So today we're going to hear their stories. Come, tell us your name and like what you are. Like, where do you fall on the spectrum?
Hi, my name is Dorcas. I don't think I'm very disciplined. How my day goes, it really goes according to my mood. Like the vibes, whatever I'm feeling right now is whatever I'm doing. So I can like plan out my day. But if today I wake up and I'm just like, this is not it, and it's not vibing and it's not giving anything, then I'll just change my plans and just
go with the
exciting life.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple of times where like I made plans with my friends before. Yeah, and then on the day itself, like in the morning we text each other and we're like, hi, wake up ready, then and all. Then we're like, actually, do you feel like going with whatever plan that we made before? Actually, not really. Then she also, not really. Okay, then we just change plan immediately. Or we just, never mind, today we cancel our plan.
So you may not even meet at all?
Yeah, depends on the day lor.
We won't even meet.
Like if both of us like feeling the same way, then we will
I'll
just...
be so frustrated. I'll stop being your friend.
Oh my god.
Hi everyone, my name is Wei Ye. Okay, so first before I can answer, I think I need to define, in my opinion, what discipline is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel that discipline to me is about doing what you set out to do and doing it to the max lah. Like for example, if I set out that I want to get fitter, right, or whatever, then I will try my best to achieve it.
Okay.
So it's that discipline, that motivation to do so. So I feel that in that light, yeah, maybe. Like I think that I am disciplined. Not maybe, I am disciplined. That I will feel very gao wei if I want to do something, then I didn't manage to achieve it. So last year, I had two goals. One is I wanted to be fit. I want to be like, have a good butt lah, right? Okay, whatever it is. Then I want to also be a bit more reflective. For me, last year, right, my two goals, I wanted to do 80% of the year. That means I need to go to the gym 80% of the year. And then I want to like have some like reflection time 80% of the year as well. So 80 and 80, that's my number. So actually, I really had a Notion page, right? I had a checkbox for these two every day. So I like, if I do it, I'll check it. Okay. So I was proud. I am proud lah. I'm still proud that last year, my like reflection time, right, was 87%.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I like
you surpassed your goal.
I'm so happy. But my fitness goal, that 80, was about 57% only. Which I think is still quite okay.
It's not bad. It's better than zero.
Yeah.
Anything is better than zero.
Silver lining in life.
Yeah, so I think that I set myself out and I see that this is a measurable way and sustainable way. I chase that number. So I think that's the two goals that I was quite proud of.
I'm actually quite impressed that you actually like really log every day. I think I will struggle to even log it every day.
No, but then like it makes sense because if he doesn't log it, he won't be able to calculate that percentage.
Exactly.
Is that why you did that?
I will just try to remember it in my head.
So did it stress you to check it, or when you didn't manage to complete that goal, how do you feel?
Usually I will look at that whole thing in entirety by week ma. So I see like, hey, so many check boxes, I feel very good. But there are some check boxes that are like empty. I was like, wow, this is bad. I feel very bad. Then like, okay. Then
like you really will feel bad.
I will feel like, wow, very waste. I may not hit my 80. Then it make me have that conscious mental sum, right? That, okay, for me to hit the 80, I need to be a bit more frequent, that kind of thing, to hit the 80. So there's that back end calculation. It worked.
Have you ever given yourself a discount? Like, did that thought ever cross your mind?
Discount. I think the 80 is fixed. So if I don't hit the 80, I'll be very disappointed, which I was. But after the end of last year, when I hit the 57% for the like going to the gym, right? Now I was like reflecting, like thinking why I didn't hit. There were very good reasons why. And I feel that I was not very disappointed because of those reasons. And that is because like maybe like example like I was sick, I was traveling, or my son is sick, then I cannot go to the gym in the morning. So so those are very valid reasons. So when I look at it, I say that okay, I felt okay about it, even though I didn't hit my goal. But I know that in my given capacity or when I was given my way, I went for it.
You knew that you tried your best.
Correct.
Which is to you that's what discipline is.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think for me, right, discipline means to commit to what you set out to do, a bit like Wei, even when you don't feel like it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think naturally humans just tend to be a bit more lazy, and we very easily can give ourselves excuse. Maybe not Wei lah, but I know I'm someone that like can go very easy on myself.
Okay.
So I feel like in times where I choose not to, I'll feel very happy. It's like, wow, like I didn't just choose to be lazy today, but I decided to, despite how I feel, I still went for it. Yeah. But I also can be quite easy on myself. So I'm not like Wei that I will set out a goal, because I know like, wow, if I don't meet it, I'll feel like, wow, very sian, or I will feel very stressed trying to meet the goal. So I think for me, right, I'll be like, okay, let's say I want to have a better sleep habits, for example, this year. Then I will try to think of how I can do that, but give myself some room also. So it's not like you go cold turkey. Like maybe last night I sleep at 2 a.m., right? Then now it's like, okay, I'm going to sleep at 10, because I know that's like impossible. So I try not to set myself up for like stress or failure, but I will try to like slowly stage, maybe sleep like half an hour earlier for like the next 1 month, and then like slowly like change the sleep cycle. Yeah. So I think like discipline in that aspect, right, means I need to make sure that my schedule allows for me to be able to sleep earlier.
Yeah.
So I will make like little adjustments. For example, changing where I charge my phone. Like no, because for me, right, doom scrolling was something that prevent me from, like sleeping at the time that I want to. So I would charge my phone like on the opposite end of the room. Yeah. So I wouldn't like go to bed and lie on my bed with my phone. Yeah. So I think on some nights I could do that. On some nights I just want to like, scroll and binge watch Netflix. Yeah. So on days I will be disciplined. Then on other days I'm not. But overall, when I see that, actually I am sleeping earlier, I am sticking to like the sleep schedule that I wanted to, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I think not bad. Yeah. Because on some days I did do it even though I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I relate with you a bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to define it in very exact detail. Okay, but if I take your definition, committing to doing something that when I don't feel like doing it, I think if I use that as my definition of discipline, I don't think I'm the most disciplined also. Yeah, but in the moments when I like have that discipline to finish something that like I don't even feel like doing it, but it's like, okay, I'll just sit down and like get it done. Yeah, and stuff. I think I will be quite proud of myself lah. Yeah, so a lot of times it's like work lor. Like if right now, right, I feel like playing and I don't feel like doing work at all, but like, okay, I don't know. Okay, maybe I don't even know. Usually these days I don't really have that adrenaline and all lah. But okay, like I still decided to sit down, get my stuff done and all. I will be quite proud of myself. Yeah. But
It's a sense of accomplishment.
it is like it is. But then yet also for me, I don't think it's sustainable in the long run. Like I cannot keep on doing like that. Cause even in the way that I do my work, right, it will take like I can sit down for the whole day and I'll end up doing nothing. Because I'll feel very like I just don't feel energized to or excited enough in that sense
It's
to
the
sit
adrenaline
down. Yeah,
that you need, right?
That kind
so
of
you
thing.
need like a deadline that is.
It means what? So you're disciplined enough to glue yourself to the table and chair and sit there and not go and play. But actually maybe you're not doing productive work.
Correct. Yeah. So I think it's from there then as I was growing up and all right, then that's how I landed at like my lifestyle today. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that like I tried it all, like I can sit down for the whole day but I'll end up
But not productive lah.
like I can do nothing at all.
Yeah.
Then I'll get very restless and all. So in my mind, I will start thinking like, okay, if I already know that if I sit down for 1 hour and this is not working out, like I'm so restless and I cannot even do anything, then that's it. I'm done.
Change
I quit.
plan.
Yeah, like
Do something else.
I'm just gonna go and do other things and play and like I'll take a walk or I do whatever I want to do lah. Yeah, and those are the moments that clearly I'm not the most disciplined. Yeah, but But like, I think that is what works for me lor.
Yeah. I kind of relate with that actually. Like, as y'all were sharing, I'm not super sure where to place myself. I think in terms of the definition, I agree. I think that ability to, when you have set your mind to something, right, to actually sit down and get it done. If it's by that definition alone, I wouldn't say I'm the most disciplined also. Because like my mind will wander. I can like sit there, but actually my mind is all over the place, you know. And I was trying to trace back, like, how come I'm like that? And I feel like it came from my A-levels trauma. Like, I really feel like A-level has traumatized me for life. Now I am recovered and healed. But like, for a good period of time in uni, right, I think maybe the way A-level works is that you really have to sit down and like study the entire day. So it was ingrained into my mind that that is what being a good student or being productive, being a studious person looks like. Like, just sit down and study every day. To the point that last time, if I have less than 2 hours, I don't even bother starting. Because I feel like, yeah, like what's the point if I can't like sit down and study for like 5 hours straight, right? So I don't even bother trying. But the converse then is that I just look at it as a time frame, you know. But actually within that 5 hours, if you really go and clock the productive hours, or maybe it's like 2 hours actually. So if in that 2 hours, I can really like discipline myself to sit down, right? I have 3 hours to do other things that is not sitting there and people watching. You know, so I feel like that was the thing I maybe had to learn over time, that it's not so much about just forcing yourself to sit there for a fixed amount of hours. But I have to say that I think this problem came about also because I'm not a disciplined person. I think a truly disciplined person, right, sit down for 5 hours, really 5 hours work. Is it true?
I cannot sit for 5 hours. I'm very restless.
Okay, but let's say you set 2 hours, right? Your 2 hours is productive 2 hours.
Yes.
I cannot.
So what I'll do is like I will like draw this time
Oh
bar
my
thing.
gosh. Yes.
That will like label by hour like interval. So I'll make it like, okay, what are the things, list of things to do. Then after that I will like, once 1 hour pass, I will shit. Then I will see, okay, the rest of the day I got how much left. Then okay, I need to plan. I just do. So that helped me put into perspective that my time is running out. Then that helps me lah. So I think that's okay.
It's very interesting for me to hear you say this because I realized that I can't do that. I don't know whether you're relate, but I can't do the like breaking down a task into small things because once I get started, I must finish it. So I'm the kind that I must do it
in
at
one
one shot.
sitting.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like that as a student. Like I cannot like, maybe like I have an an essay due, right, by like Friday night. I can't like every day do a bit. I hate it. I just want to sit down one shot, right, chiong, get it done and produce good work. Then I put it aside and I move on with my life. So if I break things down and set internal deadlines, I meet nothing. I don't meet any of the deadlines. I just meet the hard deadline. That's how I typically work.
Oh my gosh. If I had 3 hours to write a 4K word essay, I'll
I
be so
love it,
paralyzed by fear that I will just, Prof, can I have an extension by for 1 more week?
Oh, wow.
I cannot. You can or not?
I really cannot. I think I have a very different mentality to that. If you ask me like 4K words in 3 hours, I would ask myself, do I consider myself an A student or a C student? Am I okay with a C? If it's okay. Then I need to produce a C work, can already.
Go easier on yourself.
But yeah, so like when I think about like discipline for myself, right, I think I'm ill-disciplined in the sense that I can't really like sit down and discipline myself to focus and all if I know that I have a lot of time. But the way I see discipline has shifted over the years. To me now the goal is getting things done. So like it is important for me that I get things done. And like what I set out to do, I do it. But I don't fix it to a time frame. I don't fix it to a certain like schedule. Because for me, scheduling doesn't really work in that sense of like typically on my off day, I do have an idea of what I want to achieve that day. It's not just like I wake up and then I just lie on my bed. Even if I know the whole day it is planned, like I intended to kind of like rest that day. But I typically like in my mind have a list of maybe goals for the day. Like today I want to clean up the house, I want to reset my kitchen, I want to get started reading this book that I haven't started. And it's up to me when in the day I want to do it. But
you will make
I will
sure,
do it in the day.
You will make sure all these things will be done.
I will do it, but I do it on my own time within that 24-hour window. Yeah, so in some sense it's a bit in between, I feel. Yeah, not as fixed as but to me what's important is at the end of the day, things are done.
Okay, I think I can understand and agree, but it will require you, in my opinion, to have very good time management skills. Because like, let's say you want to get things done, you have 3 things to do, right? But you don't set time to do it, right? Then you reach until like 10 p.m, you still got that 3 things to do.
Let's sleep at 3 a.m. Just kidding.
No
Yeah, that's the thing, you see? That's the problem, you see? For me, it's like, okay, I got 3 things to do,
something's
I
gotta
must
go
like,
somewhere.
I know that, okay.
They operate by having 24 hours a day.
Oh yes, that's why I said 24-hour window. Yeah. If
I
it requires
relate,
me staying up till
Same,
5
same,
a.m.,
that's me.
but I get it done.
Yeah.
Wow, I cannot. That's a level of stress that
Sleep
I cannot.
is for the weak.
So I will tell myself that in this day, right, I'm the most productive from like maybe 9:30 to 11:30. Because 11:30 I start thinking about what to eat for lunch. So I know that for like 9:30 to 11:30, I need to get what is the most important thing to do for the day. I will park it there. If I miss that window, right, this thing I need to do, I think I need to find another day to do already. Because
Wow.
the rest of the day I know I cannot do.
He just gave up.
Well, I won't. Okay, but to be fair, right, when I do something, I'm very focused. So like maybe I think it is born out of years and years of refining the skills of procrastination and last minute work. So like when I only have
Skilled
like
procrastinator.
Yeah.
3 hours to write 4K words, right? Maybe I give myself half an hour to 45 minutes to like daydream a bit, people watch a bit, right? But other than that, once I write,
Still
It's
like
like
45 minutes people watch.
Can I write at Starbucks? Got a lot of things to
my
see one.
goodness.
Then I just like, right. Then I finish, right? I am confident it's a A essay. Then I submit. Mine is A or nothing, but 3 hours. Nothing more than 3 hours.
Wow, I cannot understand.
I relate with you.
Really, ah?
Same. I have this tagline or phrase that I don't know. I just
Mantra.
yeah, I guess I believe in lah. It's called with the power of deadlines and adrenaline, anything is possible. So all you need, right, is a deadline. Yeah, and even if it's an internal deadline, you just need a deadline. Yeah, and you need adrenaline. Yeah, so it's like if I need to write an essay, I know that okay, if this is okay, maybe I'm not as efficient as you lah. Not 4K in 3 hours lah. I think 5 hours I can. I just
cannot also must can.
yeah. So that's my mindset lor.
Yeah
Like
lor.
you must can right, cause if not you submit late. I cannot.
Yeah, and I won't submit late work one.
Yeah.
So I die also will finish.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, always the last hour. Like that's the fastest my brain ever works. Then
Yes.
yeah, then I write like a
desperation.
lot of words in the last
Wow.
1 hour. And I can be confident that what I write, right, it's not trash.
Yes.
So I'll be like, okay, that's okay.
I think you will die early.
No, but I have to say because of that, right, I'm pretty confident that our stress tolerance is very high. I speak for
actually,
myself. My stress
I
tolerance is very
think we
high.
cannot take stress.
I think so too. I think because we are stress avoidant, right, then we must plan our time. Because we
like,
know that we will die. if we don't.
I cannot imagine myself stressed. So it's like I will do what it takes, right, to not even
Yeah,
go
why
near
do you
there.
plan to be stressed? I don't
I'm not
understand.
stressed.
I thrive under that kind of pressure, but I don't feel stressed.
Yeah,
also.
adrenaline and stress is different. We got adrenaline, but we don't have stress.
Your face deadline with a smile. 3
Yeah,
hours.
it's like
you
bring
know.
it
To them.
on.
It makes them feel alive.
Yeah. For us, we just don't look at
Actually,
deadline.
I
just
honestly
do,
feel
do, do, do,
very
and submit.
accomplished. After I finish in
No,
like
it's
that
super
short
funny
deadline.
because they feel like because they do it so well, they will just continue to live like that.
That's toxic. That's essentially toxic. Like, I can do this bad habit well, I will do it again and again. Right.
But it's to them
But
not a
to
bad
me, yeah,
habit.
to me it's not a bad habit.
That's what smokers say about smoking.
No, but depends on what's your end goal, ma. If your end goal is to get it done, it's not a bad habit. If your end goal
Actually,
is
it's
to
true. They
be
still-
able to segment your day and stick to your plan and schedule, then yeah, lah, it's a bad habit.
I realized that last minute people, right, may not necessarily be ill-disciplined. Is
And
it?
they may not be bad workers. I think if you miss the deadline, that's on you.
Okay, so if you miss something that you promised to deliver,
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
on
is
you.
ill-discipline.
Yeah.
But how you get there, like how you plan your time, all that, I guess it really depends on how
Yeah
best you
lah.
work. So okay, let me change gears a little bit. Okay, so however that we define discipline to be, right, and how we stick to it, like has it ever worked against us before?
I think not so much work against me, but I think I realized that like I was on the receiving end of another person's ill discipline because I think that person also very, very used to last minute work, but this was a group project. And because I had to receive the person's last minute work, I'm the one that's supposed to submit the eventual project, right? Then I was so frustrated because I feel like that person really didn't consider other people apart from herself lah. So basically, like maybe let's say the paper was due maybe like 8 p.m. You have to kind of submit it to the portal, right? I'm the one consolidating the group project.
You
meaning,
definitely need it before.
yeah, I
it.
have to like proofread, I have to format, and I have to like make sure all the different parts like link together before I can submit. And because I like to submit work that I'm proud of, right? I don't want to submit something that I just piece together and just send lah.
Yeah.
The person sent me 8 p.m. due. The person sent me her part at 7:57. I'm
Just
not
in time for
easily
you to
stressed,
upload.
but that 3 minutes, I'm very stressed. I was
It was
like,
too much.
what in the world is this? You at least have the decency to give me half an hour lah. Half an hour I can do magic. 3 minutes, I really only can put the paper together and submit in.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like, I remember at that point, I felt like, no matter how last minute I am, right? Like, I feel like when it comes to working with other people, it's not nice to to just work on your own timeline without much regard for how other people will have to then take what you give them. And I did have another experience down the road where I was working with a person who did very, very last minute work. So, but we all had to do stuff after this person was done with his part. So he kind of like did it very last minute. And because of that, everybody had to come online on a rest day to work with what he did, which I felt was very poor work ethic.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think these few experiences made me decide that, okay, because being on the receiving end is really not nice, I want to be mindful to not do that to other people. So if it's just myself, right, and I personally bear the consequences of my last minute work, I stay up late and all, that's on me. And it's a choice that I choose to make for myself. But I shouldn't do that just because it works for me and have no regard for how other people have to sacrifice their rest, sacrifice their boundaries because of my last minute work. That to me is a line crossed.
I think in university also we had a lot of project work, right? So we all know that there's a later submission date, but then like in between, I would give like internal deadlines to people. Then I knew that there were some people who might, because of busyness or what, right, they may not be able to hit that internal deadline. So I found myself checking in with them a few days before the deadlines. I thought I was actually helping the team to, be on track with like whatever that they're supposed to do. Then I also think like, some of them may not be able to, those
Meet
that
the
are not be
deadline,
able to hit those internal deadlines,
Yeah.
at least like they're reminded. Yeah, but it was very interesting because after the project finished, right, one of them came up to me and shared that actually he was very stressed, like to be working with me. Yeah, and we had a conversation about it lah. I mean, something that like hit me, right, was that he felt that I didn't trust him to do the work. Yeah,
Right.
he felt like it was very micro. He was being micromanaged. Yeah, which was very different from what I thought I was. I mean, I thought I was helping like everybody to be able to not just stick to the deadline, but to also have enough time to check each other's work so that it will be a good piece of work. Yeah, but maybe I felt like the way I went about it, because it was very different from maybe how that person usually will work, it actually ended up like stifling him, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like a good experience for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I realized that actually how I realized what being a good team player is, right, is may not necessarily be trying to put what I think is the best on like other people, but to kind of have maybe conversations also, maybe from the start, and not like assume that, okay, like everybody will work
Yeah.
according to my style.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I realized trust is something that has to come through conversations or being flexible. Yeah, to accommodate like other people also. So I think a bit like you, Nata, I learned that it's important to know what might affect another person negatively and try to see if I can be flexible enough to work around that, even though it might be uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
I think for me, like one key moment that kind of changed the way I saw this was it wasn't really like school work or like work or whatever, but it's more like friends. Yeah, so there was one day that like me and my friends, we decided to meet to celebrate someone's birthday lah and all. Yeah, and then so in this group of friends, right, like everyone turned up late. Okay, there's only one person that came on time. Yeah, and the rest of the people were late. I mean, everybody got to say why they were gonna be late. Like some of them is really quite valid lah. Like okay, like some stuff happened in the morning and then that's why they're late and all. Yeah, but then like when everybody came and when everybody arrived, it was quite mean, I guess, in that sense. Cause the guy who came on time, right, like he really waited super long. Like I think about like 1 hour plus. Yeah, and it was really like quite bad. And then even though we had a whole day planned, right, like the timing like pushed back like a lot lah. Yeah, but it wasn't very nice lah. Yeah, and then one of my friends in the group came up to say that actually it's really not very nice. Yeah, it's like we're just running on our own time and we're not really thinking about like what about the guy who turned up early? I mean, yes, whether or not our reasons are valid or not, but someone still made the effort to turn up on time lah. Yeah, and if we even like treasure this friend in that sense, yeah, and I guess then that was a turning point for me, because it got me thinking like, I think on my end, not so much all of them, but like on my end, I just felt like it wasn't really very honoring of other people. Or honoring of or valuing that friend at all. And then after that, like that person who came up to say this to everyone, like was like, okay, let's all apologize together. And I mean we did lah. And the person was like, oh, okay. That kind of thing, a bit awkward. But I think that got me thinking because whether or not like, I mean, we talk a lot about like discipline, right? Whether or not we're running on our own time or like how we get things done. Like it's kind of like it doesn't matter how we get there, but we still get there in that sense. But it's like, even though this is not like work all, it's a people thing. I feel it's about like care for people.
For me, well, I feel like my one very different from yours. So I think my negative outcome from discipline in my own life, I feel that there is one that I, upon reflection, realize that is quite subtle, which is like, I think as out of my desire to be disciplined, I set routines. So I wanted to do the whole reflection thing in the morning and I go to the gym in the morning thing. So it reached a point where I was like blindly just following the routine. I was just like blindly every morning I wake up, then I just drink my half a cup of coffee, then go to the gym. Then before that I would like write down, journal and everything. Then I just keep doing it. Then I reached a point where I realized that, am I missing the point? Like, because a few things that was like that showed up like I went for the gym for so frequent, right? Like quite frequently for a period of time. Then my weight never dropped. Then I was like, but I keep going to the gym. So I I bluff myself, it's a muscle mass thing Then I realized that actually the point of me wanting to go to the gym like regularly, right? Like 80% of the year, right? Is so that I can get fit or I can like be healthy and whatsoever. But my diet never changed. Then my diet, like because I go to the gym, right? Then I can eat a bit more Nutella biscuit lah. So it's all these things that make me realize that I'm missing the point. I want to be fit. I want to be like healthy, right? I go to the gym, but I blindly follow that routine, not realizing that I'm missing the point because my diet never changed because I never set the diet like routine So that's one thing that I realized, that in the midst of chasing after a controlled life, that's something that makes me feel accomplished, right? I need to remember that I'm doing this for a reason and I'm doing this to achieve certain goals. It's not just checking the checkbox every day, but I need to remember that I'm doing all these things in the midst of chasing after all this routine. Do I still remember why I'm doing this, and whether or not I need to revisit like, is this enough, or am I just blindly following? Because you blindly follow, right, the routine, right, it doesn't really make you a disciplined person. In my opinion, suddenly it feels like actually you're just doing something regimentally, but you're not really achieving your goals. You're just giving yourself that facade that you are disciplined, but actually you're not.
Interesting.
Wow, that's a very good point. Yeah, because it's like you're just fulfilling tasks, but you kind of get lost with the bigger picture.
Yep.
But so to you then, being disciplined is not just to complete tasks, but to kind of know like what to keep in line with whatever you set out to do in the first place. Like why is the why part. Sticking to the why, is it?
So, okay, with whatever we just talked about with your past experiences, right? Have you ever considered like being less of what you are, So for example, for Wei, being less disciplined, for
More
you
chill.
being more disciplined. Like, have you ever considered that, and why?
I think I have. And I think because like just when it comes to working with different people, or it's like it's not my world and I'm not the only one living in it. It's like the world and I am living in the world. And that kind of thing. So it's not like I don't live alone or in that sense. My world still have other people involved. And when it comes to that, it requires a certain structure, or it requires certain like disciplines that I really need to keep. To function in that sense with people. And to even when it comes to simple things like communicating time, or like even when you talk about deadlines, right? Like coming together to set a deadline that, okay, if everybody can come together and meet at this time, like these kind of things lah. And it's like, I mean, okay, going back to like meetings and like work and school and whatever, right? It's like, how to say, in a productive meeting, it's only productive when everybody comes prepared. And it's a certain form of discipline to come prepared as well, right? And I feel like that when it comes to like these kind of things, like working with people, it's very important. That you still must have a certain sense of discipline, a certain sense of like structure, a certain sense of like prioritizing different things in your life, and it cannot just be free flow like all the time. Because it still affects people like one way or another.
I think for me, I don't think I have any motivation to be less disciplined, but I think that I can afford to hold my routines more loosely. So like for example, I can still seek to be a better version of myself, like in terms of my health, in terms of like my introspection and whatsoever. But when it comes to routines, being a father of two, I realize that sometimes things just don't go your way. Lor. Like you can't control whether you will fall sick, whether your children will fall sick, whether or not there's something that require your attention, and it messes your routine up. So I feel that holding those things loosely, not for the sake of it, but it's because I prioritize my time with my children, with my family. That I know that okay, if my child needs me, if my children needs me, I want to be present. I don't want to, because of my routines, right? Then like it's being messed up. Then I'll be very like upset about it. Then it affects my time and my how I present myself with my children and whatsoever. So I think it's about holding those things loosely, knowing that yes, I think I want to be a better version of myself. I want to be whatever. But I know that when it comes to like my family, things that I prioritize, these are things that are secondary. Like the routines are secondary. I know that these are one of those priorities that I want to keep. And in light of that, I am okay that I may miss a workout today. I may miss certain things that I want to do today, but I want to be okay with it because it's worth it.
Yeah, it comes back down to priorities lah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, guys, for sharing your stories with us. I feel like today we got a full spectrum of what it's like to live on each end of the spectrum. But for me, I think some of the stuff that I took away from today's conversation was really about that consideration for other people, regardless of where we fall on. Learning to at times be more flexible, at times being more disciplined. And I think personally, I do feel that there's room for all of us to grow to be more disciplined. I think that it is a good thing, but also at the end of the day, it's good to remember why we do the things we do and give some room for spontaneity and fun and living life on the edge at times.
Still young.
We will maybe check in with them sometime later as to whether Wei has grown to be more flexible and Dorcas more disciplined. So thank you for joining us on our episode today. Thank you for joining us for the ride. If you like this episode, you can send it to your friends. You can give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and you can find us on our socials as well at ngl.people on TikTok and Instagram. You can also find us on our Telegram channel where we post behind the scenes as well as updates on upcoming episodes. So we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.